Good evening. Broadcasting live January 8th, 2016. So I heard back from TEDx, the TEDx people. I'm a semi-finalist with their TEDx conference. There's 16 of us. I think they only select 4. Hopefully more than 4. So now I have to write out a talk. Now it's real work. To write out a talk and go to an interview and a workshop. Not sure what I've gotten myself into, but to write out the talk. 20 minutes, no, these talks? Or 10 minutes? How long are they?
20 minutes seems long. I don't remember.
I thought TED Talks were 20 minutes. Maybe they're 10.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, they didn't let us know that at all. Am I supposed to know these things? I think I'm supposed to be like watching TED Talks every day. I haven't watched a TED Talk in a long time. And what else? Teemu, our Finnish meditator, just finished his advanced course. So congratulations to him. He's downstairs. I asked if he wanted to come up and say hello. He said, "Can we do it another time?" Okay, sure. He's still going strong. He's been in intensive meditation for the past 10 days and isn't showing any signs of lagging. And there's more. This Wednesday, I think, I've been invited to give a talk in Toronto. So I need a ride to Toronto. Anybody want to give me a ride from Hamilton to Toronto? Wednesday afternoon. Why? Because I have a class and I wouldn't have time to take the bus there. I wouldn't make it on time. I have to get a ride. That's the only way I could make it. I'll have to talk to them. Maybe they can come pick me up.
Bhante, I'm just looking at TEDx talks here. It says that they must be under 18 minutes, but some are as short as 5 minutes long.
Oh. Yeah, probably I have to cut it down. I'm already a full page writing. Here's one of my paragraphs. This is all I just wrote it up just now and it's probably going to change, but I've spent the past 16 years practicing, studying, and teaching meditation as a Buddhist, and eventually a Buddhist monk, following a monastic code that is over 2,500 years old. I've lived in straw huts, in caves in the jungles of Thailand and Sri Lanka, and I haven't worn underwear in over 14 years. And at the same time, since I've become a monk, I've learned how to program in several different computer languages, become proficient in video editing and conversion, and developed a website that holds live internet broadcasts daily, as well as an online community of several hundred members. I'm just writing. Probably the tone has to change as well. It has to be more lively, probably, right? And it is these contrasts that interest me very much. During my early years as a Buddhist monk, I remember sitting at the feet of my 80-year-old meditation master or teacher. I don't like the word master so much. Teacher, listening to him impart the ancient wisdom of the Buddha to Thai meditators, and think to myself that really these teachings are not that hard to understand. The real problem with Buddhism and spirituality in general is that what gets lost in translation and adaptation and the degradation inherent in word-of-mouth transmission that winds up like a game of telephone, where the message that we, the modern world, get is something very different from the original teachings. So, does it sound too dry?
No, I think it sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds like a good start.
good. So you're my cheerleader. Some encouragement. Cheering squad. So that was, how long did that take to say?
That was I didn't time it, but that was probably like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. Not very long.
So I may want to shorten it a little bit because this is all just introductory stuff. And then I get on to, it is this work, although I've gotten into the... See, the idea is to contrast ancient teachings with modern technology. And actually, maybe ancient teachings to the modern world, how do you bridge these two? How do you bring modern teachings, ancient teachings to the modern world? Maybe that's not even the best subject, but it's going to be a part of it. I think the key is to strip it of that which makes it ancient, right? Which is culture, language.
The sheer access to the information that we have is, compared to people of the time. I mean, we have such so much broader information.
Yeah, and yet, the danger is that we're much more. We have much more immediate gratification, pleasure, gratification of desire. You pick up your smartphone and you got something entertaining right away.
Well, I'm thinking pick up your smartphone and you have, the 40 years of the teachings of the Buddha right away, as compared to people at the time. Maybe they heard a few lines or, one sutta, but we have so much.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make was in terms of the quality of the mind, because the teachings can be there, and if there's no one interested in reading them, so a person has to have a quality of mind to want to read the teaching. And so I think a part of modern technology is pulling us away from spirituality in general, make the Buddhist teaching less understand. But there's a whole other part of it. I think you could argue that there's a significant part of it that brings us closer. Our breaking barriers and expanding our horizons. We focus on truth and knowledge. Truth, because the internet is very much about knowledge, about science. And much of it is sharing in general, things that are about making things free. We've sort of broken down the capitalist model of charging for things.
Bhante, your audio is breaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Either be my internet or it could be your internet.
It could be.
It could be the internet. And then there's this terrible technical aspect of the internet. supposed to make things easier. Is it still breaking up?
No, it sounds better now, much more clear.
So do we have any questions?
We do, I think.
We have a long one here. That's not really a question. I think we have to skip that one.
There is a long question that is asking about Mahayana Sutta, the Diamond Sutta, and
Yeah, not going to touch that.
yeah, a concept of arbitrary ideas, which I think is from the sutta mentioned.
Well, looks like we have no questions. What are y'all doing here if you don't have any questions? Does anyone want to come on the Hangout and talk with us? Something different tonight? Come on, it's a Friday night. Live a little. I put the link out for the Hangout. You just click on that link. Join us in the Hangout. Come and say hello.
Bond wants to know if you can meet your teacher. If you can meet your teacher through Google Hangouts.
Oh, maybe. Line would probably be better. I mean, I could call him on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the easiest, is to just call him in his room.
Does Ajahn Tong use much technology?
He uses telephone, not much else. He has an iPad. I think they got him an iPad, so they use that to show him photos and so on. His vision's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
He had surgery and it never really got better. His vision's not really good at all. You know, he's 92 or something. Very tired. Not all the time, but gets tired easier. You know?
Sure.
Did you hear how he gave up the will to live when he was 80?
No.
You know how the Buddha gave up the will to live at 80? So on his 80th birthday, he asked permission from everyone to die. The head monk for the northern region of Thailand came to his birthday, and while he was sitting there, our teacher Ajahn gets up and asks him permission to die. He said, I've been working really hard and doing a lot of things, but maybe. And he was so roundabout. He took a half an hour really to ask permission. He's like, so it's good to see you here again, and maybe it's for the last time. Maybe the last time. And no, not that. Well, it's just that I've been working, spent since and he kept interrupting himself and starting over and trying to just. And then he said, maybe. Might be that I just want to ask to die.
So he wasn't sad. He was asking he was asking if he could go on vacation or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not, and he was really trying to reassure the head monk that he wasn't. That, it's not. If I'm here, I'll as long as I'm here, I'll help. And I've been working, he said, I've been boxing for many years. And he said, I think maybe it's just time. And he used a very northern Thai word that the head monk didn't understand because he's from Bangkok. That means tired out. And he said, I think it's time to shelve my gloves, the boxing gloves. He said, I want to focus on meditation, but he said like 3 times, I'd like to just die. And the head monk refused to let him, and all the one laywoman who had just given him a very, very large donation, a sizable donation, and was giving him lots of donations, cried in front of the whole congregation. She was not a very spiritual person. And then that night, there was an earthquake in Jomtong. And there's never an earthquake in Jomtong. It's not an earthquake zone as far as I know. There's no other time that I've heard of an earthquake or felt an earthquake there. But that night, the earth shook. So in the morning, we were all like, we got up early in the morning to go for chanting, and we're like waiting to see whether he shows up or not.
Because doesn't that happen when an enlightened being dies? There's an earthquake or something?
Well, I don't know. When the Buddha gave up the will to live, there was an earthquake. I think when he passed away, there was an earthquake. So, that's our legend that well, it's true. That's our magical story of our teacher.
But 12 years later, he's still hanging in there. So
yeah.
Did he regain?
I don't know that he's hanging in. I think it's just, he said, no one knows when they're going to die. You can't just say you're going to die. So he's still here. But he changed and became far less, felt like he became a lot less interested and a lot less gung-ho about teaching and so on. He really sort of retreated inward after that. I mean, he still teaches a lot less, but even today he's probably still teaching. Well, I can guarantee he's still teaching. He's too ill.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, at some point I probably should go to see him. Don't think there's any way around it. If I don't, then yeah, that might be an alternative, is to call him. But it's not the same. And it's not that important. If I don't get to go see him, I don't get to go see him. But if I have the chance, I probably should.
Have you gotten any more information on the conference, or?
He's sending it to me tomorrow.
Oh, good.
He called me tonight. And Sunday, we're having this peace meeting group thing. So many things going on. I should probably go because I've got things to think about and plan and organize.
Are you all set for the event on Sunday?
I don't know. I'll
Okay.
sort of maybe know tomorrow.
Okay. Were you going to go to the volunteer meeting before or no?
Right. Oh, probably.
Okay.
I don't have to go to it. I just turn on my phone. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have everything set up for that, before that. I'll probably make both meetings. That's not a problem. So yeah, volunteer meeting. If anyone wants to join, we need more volunteers. People to help us figure stuff out. Right? Do we? Don't we?
We do, yes. So it's Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet on Google Hangouts. And if you just let me know who you are, if you'd like to be in the Hangout, it's broadcasted online. But not a lot of people watch the volunteer meetings. Some do. But it's just a good way of us, to get together, talk to Bhante, and find out what type of things are needed each week for the monastery. So if anyone would like to join, just let me know.
I think that's it. No questions?
No questions.
Okay.
You've taught everyone everything.
Okay. Thank you all. Thanks, Robin. Have a good night.
Bhante, have a good evening.